I remember the nights first. Nights when sleep wouldn't come, no matter how still the house was. When my body lay in bed, exhausted, but my mind refused to shut down. I would replay conversations that never happened. Practice apologies I was too proud to offer. Rehearse confessions I convinced myself could wait until tomorrow. Tomorrow was always my favorite lie. My name is Eleanor West. I am 79 years old. And every morning I wake up in a house that echoes in a way it never used to. There are too many rooms now. Too many doorways leading to nowhere. Too much silence hanging in the air, heavy and unmoving. This house wasn't always quiet. There were mornings filled with rushed footsteps on hardwood floors. Doors slamming because someone was late. Silverware clinking against plates as breakfast turned into arguments and laughter all at once. A radio playing in the kitchen. Someone laughing too loud in the bathroom. Someone else complaining about the TV remote being missing again. Back then, silence was rare. And when it did appear, I couldn't wait for it to leave. Now silence is all that's left. There's only the clock. An old grandfather clock standing in the living room, its wooden surface worn smooth by decades of passing time. I've thought about stopping it more than once. The ticking is loud at night, relentless. But I never do. Because the moment it stops, I'll have to admit something I've been avoiding for years. Everything else already has. Most mornings, I stand in front of the mirror in the narrow hallway. It's a tall mirror with a thin wooden frame, nothing special. We bought it temporarily when we first moved in, telling ourselves we'd replace it later. That was 40 years ago. I look at my reflection longer now. Not out of vanity, but out of curiosity. As if the woman looking back at me might finally explain what went wrong. I search her eyes and ask questions I never slowed down enough to ask before. When exactly did I take the wrong turn? Was it a single decision or 1,000 small ones that felt harmless at the time? And why was I so certain I would fix everything later? The most painful realizations don't arrive with drama. They don't knock. They don't announce themselves. They arrive quietly, gradually. Like evening light fading from a room before you realize the sun has already set. And this is the truth that finally settled into me, too late to ignore. Backhand index pointing out I spent my entire life preparing for life instead of living it. In America, we're raised on a very simple formula. It's presented to us as common sense, as responsibility, as maturity. First, work hard. Then, build stability. And only then allow yourself joy. Sacrifice now. Enjoy later. I believed in that formula the way people believe in gravity. It felt unavoidable, natural, like something that couldn't possibly be questioned. Whenever I felt tired or lonely or quietly unhappy, I repeated the same comforting phrases to myself. This is just a season. Things will slow down once this phase is over. Everyone lives like this. This is adulthood. I told myself that at 25, when I was just getting started. I told myself that at 35, when life was supposed to be in full motion. I told myself that at 45, when I was already exhausted but afraid to admit it. Each time, I pointed to the future and said, there. That's where life will begin. But later has a strange way of behaving. It moves, like the horizon. You walk toward it with determination, convinced you're getting closer. And it stays exactly where it is. I truly believed real life would start. Once the mortgage was paid off. Once the kids no longer needed me. Once I could finally slow down without feeling guilty for it. No one ever pulled me aside and told me the truth. Backhand index pointing right. Life doesn't wait for you to be ready. It doesn't pause while you build security. It doesn't hold its breath while you handle responsibilities. Life runs alongside you every single day. And if you don't step into it while it's happening, it doesn't come back for you later. 3. I was 32 when I first felt pride tangled with fear. From the outside, my life looked exactly the way it was supposed to. I worked in consulting, a respected firm, a solid title printed neatly on my business cards, a salary that made my parents proud and my friends quietly envious. My calendar was booked months ahead, meetings layered on top of meetings, calls scheduled before the last one even ended. There was always somewhere I needed to be, someone waiting for my attention. I loved my tailored suits, the way they made me feel sharp and important. I loved my leather briefcase, heavy with documents that convinced me I mattered. I loved hearing my name spoken in boardrooms, followed by nods of approval. Those moments gave me a rush I didn't know how to live without. I told myself that if I slowed down, even slightly, everything would fall apart. The respect, the momentum, the version of myself I had worked so hard to build. At the time, I called it ambition. I praised it, defended it. Now, with decades behind me, I can finally call it what it was: an addiction to approval. I needed to be needed to be impressive, needed to feel indispensable. I told my husband over quick dinners and half-listened conversations, just a few more years like this and life will be easier. I told my children, usually while standing in a doorway with my coat already on, Mom is really busy right now, but we'll make it up later. I promise. I believed love could wait. That relationships were sturdy, like furniture. Something you could set in place and come back to when you had time. I didn't realize that love is more like a fire. If you don't tend to it, it doesn't stay warm. It fades quietly. I was always planning for the future, designing it, structuring it, optimizing it. I was an architect of what came next, and only a visitor in what was happening now. When we bought our house, it was bigger than we needed. Much bigger. But that felt right at the time. That's what successful people did. And we could afford it, which felt like proof that everything was working. Each extra room was supposed to represent progress, growth, achievement. Instead, it created space where distance could grow. The house was beautiful, bright, impressive. And slowly, it became emptier in ways that had nothing to do with furniture. I remember Saturdays most clearly. I would wake up early, before anyone else, determined to make the yard perfect. The lawn had to look flawless, trimmed, even untouched. I wanted it to look like children had never run across it. Like life had never made a mess there. The irony of that still stings. I mowed the grass while my kids were growing up inside the house. I polished countertops while conversations became shorter, more functional. I focused on maintaining appearances while connections quietly thinned. Now, when I walk through the rooms, the house feels like an exhibit. Carefully arranged, tasteful, silent, everything exactly where it belongs. And no one truly inside it. I treated my body the same way I treated my time, as something expendable, like a rental car. Something to push hard, assuming I'd deal with the damage later. I drove myself at full speed, ignored every warning sign, every ache, every moment of exhaustion. I didn't sleep enough. I ate whatever was fast and comforting. I canceled checkups, telling myself I'd reschedule when things calmed down. I kept repeating the same promise. When life slows down, I'll take care of myself. But life doesn't slow down. It fractures. It wears down quietly, then all at once. Now I have what I once dreamed of. Security, freedom, time. But my body no longer cooperates the way it once did. And joy feels heavier to reach. I learned too late that health isn't something you can postpone without consequences. For a long time, I believed love was obvious, that it didn't need explanation, that it could be assumed. I was wrong. There is a very specific kind of pain that comes with age. The pain of words you saved for later. The pain of knowing exactly what you wish you had said, when the chance was still there. I wanted to tell my husband how deeply I admired him, how steady he was, how patient, how much he carried without complaint. I wanted to tell my closest friend that she saved me during the darkest year of my life. Even when I never said a word about how much I was struggling, I assumed they knew. Now those words have nowhere to go. They live only in my memory and echo off the walls of a quiet house. And that silence is louder than anything I ever worked so hard to achieve. T simply keeps moving. 3. Call to action. YouTube. For most of my life, I followed a script. Not one I wrote myself, but one handed to me quietly, piece by piece, by expectations, traditions, and people who spoke with confidence. I lived the way I was told a good woman should live. Responsible, predictable, careful. I measured my choices against invisible standards. I worried about how things looked from the outside. I adjusted myself to fit into rooms where I was never fully comfortable. I was afraid of being strange. Afraid of being too loud, too emotional, too honest. Afraid of being inconvenient in a world that rewards compliance. So I softened my opinions, lowered my voice, waited my turn. I believed that someone somewhere was keeping score. At 79, I finally understood the truth. Backhand index pointing out no one was watching. The people I tried so hard to impress were busy with their own lives. Many of them are gone now. The rest don't remember the sacrifices I made to appear right. All that effort, all that self-editing, for an audience that never existed. I should have taken the risk. I should have said yes faster and no more often. I should have made mistakes loudly instead of silently wondering, what if? I should have lived out loud. If you're listening to this and thinking, this isn't about me, I still have time, I want you to remember me. Not tomorrow, not next year, but 40 years from now. Remember this voice. Remember this moment. Life isn't a project you can plan perfectly. It's not a spreadsheet. It can't be optimized or postponed without cost. You don't get to it later. You live it, or you miss parts of it. So don't wait for permission. Don't postpone the things that matter. Don't stay silent when your heart wants to speak. Call the person. Take the trip. Start the thing that scares you. Say the words you keep saving. My name is Eleanor West. I'm 79 years old. And if something in my story made you pause, if it stirred a thought, a memory, or a quiet discomfort, that means it reached you. If this message spoke to you, subscribe so we can continue this conversation. Share it with someone you care about, someone who might need to hear it today. And in the comments, tell me, backhand index pointing out, what is one thing you will stop postponing? I read every response. And if you take even one step toward your life today, then my story, my mistakes, were not told in vain.